Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining SET Digital Roadshow for the third quarter of 2019 result presentation of Thoresen Thai Agency Public Company Limited. My name is Awapatha Pungthanyapuk, the Senior IR Manager, and I'm pleased to introduce you our Group CFO, Mr. Jitender Paul Verma, on my right.
Hello, good afternoon.
Today, we will have three agenda: the company overview, financial performance, and market outlook. Mr. Jitender will present on the company overview and the market outlook, and I will cover the financial performance. During the presentation, please feel free to submit the question, but we will answer the question after we finish the presentation. Okay, Mr. Jitender, please start.
Thank you, Kunpatra. For TTA, our first slide is related to the Thoresen Group at a glance. As you are aware, Thoresen is been established for more than 100 years. It's actually started in 1904, and since 1995 it has been registered on the Stock Exchange of Thailand. It is headquartered in Bangkok. All our operations are run from Bangkok. We cover almost 10 different countries in 3 continents. At the current time, the Mahagitsuri family, the major shareholders, own about 27.2% of total Thoresen shares, which leaves a good float of about 73%, which makes it a truly widely held company. Next. In this 100 years of our journey with transformation has been really exciting, where initially it was a pure shipping dry bulk company, and over the years it has been diversifying beyond marine services, and it had invested in mermaid offshore, in the petroleum tanker business in Philippines, in fertilizer producers in Vietnam, and also in the coal logistics in Thailand. Of late, in the recent years, we have been focusing on building our core as well as repositioning TTA as a diversified investment company. In that context, in the last couple of years, we have invested in Sino-Grannis, about 9% stake in them. We also divested and made a listing of PMTA, which was previously a holding company, 100% shares, holding 100% shares in fertilizer and warehouse business in Vietnam. We are also building partnerships in international companies and institutions. We have diversified some of our efforts into the food business and have invested in the franchise of Pizza Hut stores in Thailand, as well as Taco Bell stores in Thailand. In addition to that, we have acquired 80% stake in AIM, a water service company. Next. This all has been as a part of the group strategy, where we continue to strengthen our existing core of shipping, offshore services, agrochemical, and then in our investment category, we keep on adding the new business predominantly from food and beverage, water and logistics, by virtue of either a JV or an alliance, and also M&A going forward. While we look at the financial performance of TTA, TTA also gives good priority to good corporate governance, transparency, and sustainable development, as we have listed out and detailed below. In 2012, the Corporate Governance Committee had reviewed the CG policy and put a monitoring of compliance of the policy and practices. We have continued that in this year by appointing a Sustainable Development Committee in the first quarter of this year, in March 2019. And the plan is that a sustainable development plan will be implemented throughout Thoresen Thai agencies. We are also approved in our board of directors meeting for an opportunity to the shareholders at large to propose the agenda and even the board of director candidates for the AGM of 2020. And we have also shown our intent, and we plan to carry through with it to join Thailand's Private Sector Collective Action Against Corruption, or CAC, and we plan to take it through with a great detail. Now, coming to the strategic business portfolio of TTA, as we had said that we have 4 major sectors of shipping, which is 100% owned by TTA, mainly involved in dry bulk shipping and shipping services. On the offshore service side, we have Mermaid as a listed entity in Singapore. TTA owns 58.2% of this listed entity. The balance 42% is free float, involved in subsea services and drilling services. On the agrochemical side, the PMTA, which TTA owns 68.5%, it's a fertilizer business based in Vietnam. And on the investment side, we have Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, AIM, TTA Suez, the port business, and UMS. Basically predominantly into food and beverage, water, logistics, and other. For the 9-month ended 2019, the revenue structure predominantly is that about 66% of revenue comes from the first 2 segments, which is shipping and offshore services, and then 18% roughly comes from the PMTA fertilizer business, and the balance 16% is from the investment, which is all the sectors we just mentioned: food and beverage, water, logistics, and others. If we look at the financial highlights of third quarter of 2019, TTA reported net profits of 653 million Thai baht, which is an improvement of 340% year on year. The EBITDA increased 26% year on year and 223% quarter on quarter to baht 688 million in third quarter 19. Shipping segment continued to maintain its outstanding position, with TCE rate outperforming the net market TC rate. The offshore service segment's order book also reached a record high of US dollar 210 million at the end of third quarter 2019. This has been the highest in the last 3 years. Low net interest bearing debt of equity at 0.07 times reflect the robust capital structure at the end of third quarter 2019, which gives us a strong balance sheet to look at right investment opportunities going forward. A couple of significant events which happened in third quarter 2019, just wanted to mention. We have started opening Taco Bell stores in third quarter. We opened our first store in January 2019, and by third quarter we opened 4 outlets within Thailand. We also entered into a joint venture with a Japanese partner. In this Japanese partner, they invested in one of our subsidiaries, which we owned 100%, which owns real estate. They have invested 40%, and thereafter the said subsidiary called PMT Property has been determined to be a joint venture entity. The financial impact of this sale of investment would be that there will be a gain from the sale of interest, as well as the recognition of the fair value of TTA's interest in this subsidiary as a joint venture, so which has given impact to the profitability of quarter 3 specifically. In terms of the key business drivers and indicators, we focus on 2 major businesses. As we said, 2/3 of the revenue come from our shipping business as well as the offshore services business. For the shipping business, the important key business driver is the Baltic Exchange Dry Index or BDI. The BDI during this period almost reached a 6-year high to 2,518 points, and it averaged at 2,030 points in third quarter 2019. Now this compares to almost 1,607 points in third quarter 2018 and only 995 points in second quarter 2019. In the Brent crude oil sector, which is a key business driver for our business in the offshore services, the Brent crude oil averaged at $62 per barrel in third quarter 2019. Of course, during the quarter, it went up to as high as $69 per barrel due to the Saudi Arabian oil infrastructure attack on the Saudi Arabian oil infrastructure. However, it was the Saudi Arabian Aramco company was very quick in bringing them back to a sustainable level, so it now hovers around 61, 62. With this, I'll pass on the baton to Kunpatra to go through the detailed financial numbers of TTA and its business units for better clarity.
Okay, thank you, Kun Jiten. Okay, you look at the slide number 13. This is a consolidated income statement. You can see that the revenue increased 10% year-on-year and 6% Q-on-Q to 3,883 million baht. This is mainly contribute from the shipping and the offshore service, which is 63% of the total revenues. In addition, there again of the partial sale of the interest in one subsidiary of 283 million baht, as Kun Jitender mentioned before, for the significant change. So this, therefore, the EBITDA increased 26% year-on-year to 688 million baht. Okay, and besides that, if we exclude the extraordinary item from the recognition of the fair value of TTA interest in one subsidiary as a joint venture and other minor extraordinary item, normalized net profit of TTA was 287 million baht in the third quarter, and the consolidated net profit to TTA was 653 million baht, which improved 340% year-on-year. Okay, but if we look at the balance sheet, the financial position, okay, we can see we have a strong financial position to support all of our growth. As of September 30, 2019, we have a high liquidity and a healthy balance sheet. We have cash under management almost 7 billion baht, and we have a net interest-bearing debt to equity of 0.07 times, which is very low compared to the industry. Our total liability decreased from the end of 2018 to be 11,436 million baht. This is mainly due to the repayment of some borrowings. And total equity, though we making profit this quarter, but total equity decreased to 23,409 million baht. This is mainly due to the dividend payment and the foreign currency translation. Now we will go to the detail for each business segment. This is a shipping segment. The TCE rate in this quarter is at $12,180 per day per vessel, which outperformed the net Supermax market rate of 11,883 US dollar per day. If you look at the upper left chart, this is the blue line is a Thoresen TCE rate. This is our rate. And the gray line is a net market rate. You can see that in the last 4 quarters, we always outperform the net market rate. And then our TCE rate is comprised of our own feed. And then the gain from charter-in feed as well. Currently, we have 21 vessels in our own feed, but due to the higher demand, so we have a charter-in vessel as well. So this gives us the gain on the charter-in vessel to our TCE rate. The highest TCE rate this quarter, we earn up to 27,531 US dollar per day. And if you go to the upper right chart, this is our utilization rate of our own feed. In the blue line, you can see that we got 100% almost every quarter, that so our ship is working really hard, you see, and we really effective feed. And the column is a working day. The blue color is a working day for our own feed, and the gray color is our charter-in, our working day for the charter-in feed. You can see that in the third quarter, our charter-in feed working day is increased from 845 days in the third quarter last year to 1,415 days in this quarter. So this due to the higher demand of the market. And look at the lower left chart. This is our operation cost structure. We have a low vessel operation expense, or we can say OPEX of very low at 3,886 US dollar per day in the third quarter. And roughly our cash cost, which is the minimum cost that our EBITDA turn positive, is roughly is about 5,300 US dollar to 5,600 US dollar in average. So you can see that if the TCE rate is more than this level, our EBITDA will be positive. So currently the market is TCE rate is above 10,000 US dollar per day. So from the good operation performance, so it's reflect in the financial statement. You can see the revenue in shipping segment is grew 35% year on year and 22% Q on Q. And the gross profit is grow 34% Q on Q as well. But to analyze performance of die bulker, you cannot look at the financial statement itself. You have to look at the per day performance, which is we attach in the appendix. You can go to see that we talk about TCE, that is a per day data. Okay, so for the gross profit, we will talk about equivalent gross margin per day, which is increased Q on Q from 60% to 68%. Due to the improved TCE rate. You can see TCE rate in the last quarter is 9,000 US dollar, but in the third quarter is above 12,000 US dollar. So this gives us a more margin in this quarter. And then EBITDA increased 47% Q on Q to 361 million baht. So in conclusion, the net profit to TTA was 235 million baht in the third quarter. So for offshore business, the performing vessel utilization rate in the third quarter is increased year on year to 83%. This is due to the improved operational efficiency by co-stacking one vessel since the last quarter, which is Q2. But it's compared to the last quarter, the utilization rate are slightly lower. This is mainly due to that one project was rescheduled as per the customer new schedule. So the number of working day is slightly lower than the last quarter due to this reason. So it's reflect to the lower utilization rate Q1Q. And up to date, we have 4 vessels in co-stack to reduce the cost and market for sales. For drilling service, we have 3 high specification jack-up drilling rig, which have performed strongly in the Middle East with 100% utilization rate in this quarter. Up to date, one contract, they have 3 rigs, so there are 3 contracts. One contract was extended to 2022, which is a 3-year extension to the last to the same contract, same customer. And the other 2 contracts was extended in the short term, but we have a high possibility for contract extension as well. For revenue of the offshore service, revenue increased 5% Q1Q to 826 million baht due to the higher non-vessel revenue, but decreased year on year due to lower vessel working days. The gross profit positive at 55 million baht. However, the EBITDA was negative at 61 million baht. So the offshore service contribute a loss to TTA of 115 million baht. However, the order book of the offshore service is raised 62% year on year to $210 million at the end of the third quarter. This is there is this above $200 million for the first time since 2016. This is mainly due to the 3-year contract extension from the major existing customer in the Middle East due to our strong performance. For agrochemical segment, they still can maintain their position in the industry by maintaining its total fertilizer sales volume at 43,200 tons. The domestic fertilizer sales volume, they increased 12% year on year to 30,800 tons. This is mainly due to the increase in the product of main NPK formula 20-20-15 and 15-15-15 and single fertilizer. And however, the export sales volume decreased to 9,500 tons. This is due to the price competition from Chinese fertilizer producer due to the zero export tax of the Chinese fertilizer. However, for the export market, we will focus from other in the niche market that Chinese producer will not go to that market. And regarding the sales volume by product, single fertilizer increased 56% year on year to 11,900 tons, which represent 28% of total fertilizer sales volume in quarter 3. This number is increased because the farmer in Vietnam they offer more single fertilizer due to the low price of the agricultural product. And the NPK fertilizer sales volume decreased 15% year on year to 31,300 tons. Besides the fertilizer, we agrochemical segment also have a factory area for factory area management service. This factory area is 66,420 square meter and contribute about 2% of the total revenue. And look at the financial statement of agrochemical. Although the sales volume was maintained, but the sales revenue decreased year on year to 628 million baht, mainly due to the lower NPK fertilizer sales volume. The gross profit or spread decreased 7% year on year to 130 million baht. However, the gross margin was improved because first, the raw material cost decreased, and then the portion of the higher margin product in sales mix increased. This is our strategy to maintain our position in the market. We focus on the high margin product. And then the EBITDA increased 20% year on year to 29 million baht. And agrochemical contribute net profit to TTA 6 million baht, which improved 562% year on year in the third quarter. And for investment, we have Pizza Hut, which we own 70%. At the end of the third quarter, Pizza Hut have 144 outlets nationwide. And Taco Bell, which we own 70% as well. We have 3 outlets at the end of the quarter, but up to date we have 4 outlets, which is recently opened at Samyan Midtown in November this year. And then I will pass on to the market outlook to Kun Jitender.
Thank you, Kun Patra, for a detailed numbers presentation for the benefit of the analysts. On the outlook, I will spend some time on the outlook for the shipping business, which is the dry bulk business outlook. If we look at the slides related to the total dry bulk trade as presented on this slide, we see that there has been a continuous growth on the trade aspect, which is basically the demand side. And even for 2020, the forecast is that there would be a 2.7% year-on-year growth in ton miles, which is where the demand really originates from. This high demand, coupled with limited supply of vessels, as we show on the next slide, have been the major reason for the continued BDI uptrend. And we expect this to continue at least in the next 1 to 2 years. For the second half of 2019, the market looks to be very positive, driven by mainly the improved iron ore trade after the severe disruption in first half of 2019, and also impacted a bit by the IMO 2020 factors, which have impacted the supply going forward. The Indian seaborne steam coal imports reached record levels in first half 2019, and they grew by, or rather projected to grow by 8% in full year 2019. The grain trade also looks positive because of the improving sentiment between US and China. China's soybean imports are initially projected to rebound by 5% in 2020, and a recovery on China's pig population from the African swine fever has reportedly begun. Looking to 2020, the shipping analysts expect that fundamentals in bulk sector would be fairly balanced, though there is some downside demand risk. However, on the demand side, the 2.7% growth would be very positive for the industry. Next. The supply side, as we see on this slide, in 2020 there will be a 3% year-on-year growth. However, with the IMO 2020 sulfur cap implementation approaching, the vessel off-hire time for scrubber retrofitting continues to have a significant impact on the bulk carrier sector. Overall, 7.5% of the total bulker fleet tonnage is now fitted with a scrubber, mainly on the Cape-size fleet tonnage. And the fleet expansion in 2020 also is projected to slow a little to 3.3%, while the active capacity estimated is to will be reduced by 0.5% on average because of scrubber refitting. All these factors will be very good for the freight rates environment going forward, and therefore a positive outlook appears for the shipping business. On the offshore service side, we are happy to announce that with the extension of contract with a major oil producer in Saudi, our order book now stands at $210 million. Almost 40% of it is expected to be executed in the in 2020, and the balance is spread over 21-22. These are the orders in hand, and as the year progresses, there will be more orders also be forthcoming. So therefore, the outlook for Mermaid or the offshore service business, it seems positive. Although the oil price volatility, which has been there, it keeps the pressure on, and we expect that the outlook for the global oil field services sector is strong beyond 2020, though near-term declines are possible. We expect our major owned vessels like Asiana, Sapphire, and Endurer, they will continue to operate in the Middle East and with a higher utilization rate in 2019 as well as in 2020. And on the drilling business side also, under one of our associates, all three high specification jackup drilling rigs remain on contract in the Middle East, thus reducing any downside risk. So we are covered. And with all this balancing out happening, we still maintain a strong balance sheet with low gearing and sufficient cash reserve to be ready for any future opportunities and challenges in this field. With this, we come to the end of our presentation, and we'll take up any questions which are there from the our analysts.
Okay, now we have question for the topic for next year. Okay.
I think the first question is mainly on the details about the capex plan in 2020. We plan to have a capital plan of closer to 2 billion baht going forward in 2020, which predominantly would be on the shipping side, where we plan to be buying at least 2 ships amounting to 1.2-1.3 billion baht. Our plan is to look at ships which are already in the market and then look at the right sizing for our fleet so that we can continue to earn profits from day one and for many years to come. The next question is on the expansion plans for the agrochemical business. At the moment, the agrochemical business is doing pretty well. There are certain export-related competitiveness being faced from the Chinese exporters. So at least for the next 1 or 2 years, there are no major plans to expand the agrochemical business, and we plan to focus more on the domestic market, and the export market will be used as and when the opportunities arise, mainly on the Philippine side as well as on the African side. Next is about the food segment. Do you plan to increase more revenue from this segment, such as open more branches or invest in other brands? As far as the food segment is concerned, we have commitments to our franchisors to expand both the categories of Pizza Hut as well as Taco Bell. For Pizza Hut, there could be an additional 25 to 30 outlets being opened in the next year, and similarly for Taco Bell, there could be about 8 to 12 outlets opened in the next year with a combined investment of about 200 odd million baht. In terms of the opening to the other brands, yes, we keep looking at the opportunities in this market for other brands, because that's one of our stated goal, that to smoothen out the cyclical nature of the shipping business as well as the offshore business, getting involved in a profitable food venture would bring the stability of earnings to TTA, and that's the plan. Is there any effect to your business from the strength of the Thai currency? Yes, the majority of our operations are in overseas, and that would have an impact on our earnings, because when we are translating those earnings from dollar to baht, there would be a lesser earning on Thai baht level. However, in that respect, most of our costs are also overseas or dollar based, so there is a kind of a natural hedging takes effect. On the translation of assets liability side, there are certain translation losses because of this strengthening of Thai baht, which would be there in 2019. Is there any more questions? I think that's all. There is one question. After JV project of PMT, what is your revenue and margin outlook on this project? We have started to do the feasibility studies on the JV project, and once those feasibilities are out, most probably towards later part of the 2020, then we will be able to come out with what the plan, how the JV will take shape, what kind of investments would be needed, and what kind of profitability would be there. So we are working with our JV partners to go through and review various feasibilities. So at this stage, it's quite preliminary to come out with any details. So that would be all, I think. Are there any more questions?
Yeah, I think that's all for this quarter. Okay, so if you have more questions, so you can email us at to investors@thoresen.com, Okay, today we thank you for all of you that joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.